This video explores the 4 key purposes of market research and is supported with real-life examples of businesses who have conducted market research effectively or have faced the consequences of not using enough market research to support their decision-making process. Market research is a process used by businesses to gain a deeper understanding of who their target audience is, what their wants and needs are, and what influences their purchase decisions and behaviour. It is used in a wide range of scenarios, right from collecting the initial thoughts of the target market about potential products, through to analysing the competition and the market in general. The amount of time invested or budget allocated to market research activities varies between businesses. For example, some businesses may allocate zero budget, while others may invest millions of pounds each year. Rather than just acting out of instinct, entrepreneurs and managers will undertake market research to identify customer needs, identify gaps in the market, reduce risk, and ultimately make better decisions. Let's have a look at these core purposes of market research in more detail, with some examples of how famous businesses such as Apple, Lego, and Gymshark have used market research effectively to increase sales and grow into new markets. Identifying the needs of customers is potentially the core purpose of market research. When conducting market research with their target market, a business is likely to focus on factors such as price, quality, choice, and convenience, with the aim of collecting data and feedback which will support the business to provide their customers with the products they want or need at a price that they are willing to pay. If a business did not conduct market research, it could potentially result in them investing hundreds, thousands, or even millions of pounds into product development which the market does not want or need. LG and Sony are prime examples of businesses who failed to truly identify the wants and needs of customers through market research. After the highly successful 2009 release of Avatar 3D in cinemas, both LG and Sony launched their own 3D television range to capitalise on the trend. However, they didn't conduct sufficient market research before making this investment, and although the 3D film was a big hit in the cinemas, it turned out that customers did not have the want or the need to view their TV content in 3D in their homes. This resulted in both businesses eventually discontinuing the manufacture of their 3D TV range. In comparison, Apple are a prime example of a business who conduct extensive market research every single year through their Customer Pulse program. In fact, Apple spent a record $18.75 billion on research and development alone in 2020. This helps Apple to clearly identify the wants and needs of customers effectively, and even resulted in them diversifying their iPhone product range in 2013 with the release of the iPhone 5C. This was for customers who wanted an Apple iPhone, but did not particularly need the highest spec or want to pay a premium price. Market research is also very useful to help a business to identify any gaps in the market. A gap in the market is essentially where there is a potential demand for a product or service which is not currently being met. Whilst it can be risky for businesses to exploit these gaps, it can also be very lucrative if a business can firmly place themselves as the market leader in this gap. A very famous example of a business which failed to conduct sufficient market research and take advantage of a gap in the market is Blockbuster. They were once offered the chance to buy Netflix for $50 million, which would have allowed them to adapt the business model over time to the online streaming service we all know and use today. This resulted in Blockbuster eventually failing as a business and Netflix taking advantage of this gap in the market, with a market value which is now higher than Disney at a reported $194 billion. Who, by the way, have now launched their own online streaming service to rival Netflix, named Disney+. Another example of a business conducting market research to successfully identify a gap in the market is Gymshark. Co-founder Ben Francis suggested in a recent interview that he remembers looking around and not being able to find any clothing he wanted to wear for the gym, and he believed there was a clear gap in the market. So, with the help of his brother and a group of friends, Ben bought a sewing machine and a screen printer and started to make gym vests and t-shirts in his parents' garage. Gymshark was literally born in 2012 through a gap in the market. They started to make bodybuilder vests that fitted slimmer teenagers, because most on the market were designed for older men who had already built up their muscle bulk. 8 years later, Gymshark is now a global business valued at over $1.3 billion in 2020. No matter how much market research a business conducts, it cannot eliminate risk entirely. However, it can reduce the risk by getting market insights and feedback from customers. Within business, risk comes in many shapes and sizes. There are monetary risks associated with investing money into products which may not be needed by the market. Alternatively, businesses face the risk of losing customers or facing public backlash through negative press coverage or even pressure groups if they fail to truly understand the market they operate within. A classic example of a business acting without conducting sufficient market research first is the well-known toothpaste brand Colgate. During the 1980s, Colgate decided to extend their product range from oral hygiene into frozen foods. However, they failed to reduce the risk of this brand extension strategy and ultimately paid heavily, as customers strongly associated Colgate with oral hygiene, which unfortunately did not make their frozen food products appetizing. Had Colgate have conducted market research initially, they would have found this information and either launched a frozen food range under a different brand name, or scrapped the venture entirely. Either way, they would have reduced the risk, saved a lot of time and money. The final core purpose of market research is to help businesses to make better decisions, whether this decision be around launching a new product or service, making a change to an existing product, or even investing into a new store location. A great example of a business utilising market research to make better decisions is Lego. For many years, Lego was seen as a boys' toy, and it was reported that only 9% of primary users were girls. Therefore, Lego conducted extensive market research to see if there was a demand in the market for Lego aimed at girls. In fact, they conducted a 4-year study which involved 3,500 girls and their mums. The market research included analysing girls' playing habits and lots of extensive questioning. This resulted in Lego launching a new product range in 2012 named Friends, which was aimed at girls. This product range was based on the foundations of Lego's core products, but included changes to the colour of the Lego bricks to more vibrant colours, a change to the packaging, and they also adapted the figures to a bigger size to accommodate accessories such as hairbrushes and purses. All of these decisions were based on the findings of the market research, and the company said it sold twice as many Lego Friends sets as it expected to when the product range first launched. However, Lego also faced criticism from some consumer groups who said it reinforced gender stereotypes. Having said this, profits rose by 35%, so you could argue that there was clearly a demand in the market for this type of product, which was supported by their market research. So that's it, the core purposes of market research explained. Before you leave, it's also important to be aware that there are two main types of market research that a business can choose from when conducting market research. These are known as primary and secondary market research methods. Primary market research is conducted or funded by the business and includes methods such as questionnaires, focus groups and interviews. Whereas secondary market research is information which already exists and includes methods such as internet research, government reports and market data. Once the market research process is complete, the results will be shown as either quantitative or qualitative data. If you want to find out more about primary and secondary market research methods, or quantitative and qualitative data, just head over to our YouTube channel and watch our videos where we go into depth and provide examples of these in action. Thank you for listening. I hope that's helped you to understand the purpose of market research, and if you found it useful, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to Two Teachers YouTube channel for lots more business studies videos. All the best.